10 minutes from where CBGB's used to be.
Sabajabas.
Gabagaboo. Country bluegrass.
Country
blues.
Yeah, well, CB. What was it?
Country bluegrass and blues.
Yeah, CB.
Right?
Country
I
bluegrass and blues.
never knew what it stood for.
What's the OMFUG? Something
Fog?
something music for ugly.
Live music.
OMFUGs.
Underage, maybe?
No. It's a great episode. Did we start yet?
Yep, we're off to a good start. Let's talk about lies.
Fucking OMFUG.
All right, everyone.
Other music for uplifting gormandizers. All right.
That's our opening.
Who's?
Hal, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel walk in the room? Of course I'm eating a Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get crossed.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it.
This Valentine's Day, good things come in big packages at MeUndies. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/NAFT. That's MeUndies.com/NAFT for 20% off plus free shipping. MeUndies. Comfort from the outside in.
Ben,
we're trying to remember what the CBGB letter stood for, everyone. Lies you were told when you were young, punk rock would change the world.
What?
Everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to revolutionize everything, man. No, you're not. You're just going to get a fucking job. Lies. What have you been lied to about, Shane? What's a lie you believe? Whether or not your parents told it to you or not. What's a lie you believed?
That I believed younger or now? Or now if I believe it.
Yeah. If you believe yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. What's a lie? What's a lie you know is a lie and you still believe?
What's a lie that I know is a lie that I still believe?
That if you work hard enough, you can buy a house.
Fibs. Hey guys, I don't want to brag, but
you're the meanest girl in the world, Charlie.
I
was telling you I wanted to try and buy a house by the end of the year.
I'm in a rickety dungeon in the basement of my own equity right now. It can come true, and it's not great. You're like, why did I? Oh, everything that's wrong is my problem, and I got to figure out everything. And it's not, man. Renting's pretty tight. Not financially, but knowing like that. And, there's a crack in the wall. Who gives a shit? That pipe leaks. Not my problem. Man, now it's all just like, if this thing goes to shit, it's my fault. I have to think. It's like being the captain of a ship now. I'm like, I didn't want to.
There's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of responsibility.
I know. I see all your guitars back there.
I take care of those. Those are in shape.
Lie, I believe. I mean, obviously, Santa Claus is the biggest one.
You believe that still? I've got some news for you.
No. But like when I was young, that's like the most common. All right.
Oh, Shane.
You're gonna be doing you're gonna be like this the whole episode. It's Sunday. Yes. Let's try and be nice to one another, okay? I'm gonna make my special sauce. We're gonna have Sunday dinner, soup calls. It's gonna be great.
I can't think of superstitions are. I don't think those are lies, but superstitions, which we kind of covered.
Yeah,
before.
I get. Yeah, have we covered superstitions? Have we done that in an episode?
I thought we did that.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't. Okay. Well, I think my mom would tell me lies and like things to like keep me straight, like, and I think I used to think a lot of it was because since she was from Ireland and my other friends' parents didn't tell them these things, I was like, oh, that's like an Irish one, so Oh, one of the lies. If you stare, what was it? If you sit too close to the television, you'll go blind. That was like a kid one, or your eyes will go cross-eyed and stay that way.
Yeah, you'll mess up your vision. Although, if I look at my phone and then I look up, I can't focus on things far away. I think there's some truth to messing up your eyeballs. My mom wouldn't let us look into the microwave.
Look at the microwave, right? Because it'll fry you.
Yeah, like, well, why are we eating the stuff that it's doing? Just don't look at it.
Yeah, no.
She wouldn't let us stare into the microwave.
Kyle, how many times did I tell you don't look at the microwave? Ding, dinner's ready.
Adult Kyle stares down that shit every time it's in there. I don't take my eyes off of it now.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there all.
No, don't.
That reminds me. This episode is brought to you by Factor.
But that wasn't a lie as much as it was like new technology in the kitchen and nobody knew what it was doing. So we were just.
Yeah.
My mom told me that when the ice cream man plays the music, that means he's out of ice cream.
Driving real slow to be like, fresh out. Don't stay in your houses. I just want everybody to know I have absolutely no ice cream for anybody.
I'm doing pretty well because they always are out of ice cream.
Imagine like an ice cream guy on his break so the music's not playing. You're like, come on, man, I know it's in there. Kids will leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Do you remember? God, what a horrible job in some ways. The ice cream man, like just for kids to be like, how much can I get for 50 cents? Like answering those questions all the time.
Oh yeah, little poor kids.
Yeah. All the poor kids.
Well, because then they're not.
Or me.
And if you got a heart, you're gonna be like, just have it. Just have the ice cream.
Yeah, I know. Our local guy got busted for selling weed out of his ice cream truck. That was like
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know about the ice cream truck wars in Scotland?
No.
Anyway, Google it.
No. Tell us now.
Basically, it was a big drug ring, and all of the different ice cream truck companies were warring against each other, and it came to some sort of head where
I got some bomb pops for your ass.
I like that.
I've got some bomb pops for your ass. Fucking McClagger.
The slowest car chase ever.
And the music plays.
With the music. All pop goes the weasel.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Whipping Mickey Mouse ice creams at each other for the we have LA's got a lot of Rios or whatever they have the carts in the apartment we have now is like a perfect cacophony of the guy because there's construction. So you have the roach coach that pulls up that plays La Cucaracha, then the jingle bell guy, then construction noise, on top of the already blanket of LA noise of helicopter, leaf blower, sirens, and randos screening.
So it's just like an urban wall of sound. It's like Phil Spector's inspiration for like
yeah. It's a real Frank Zappa of irritation happening outside.
The guy across the street from me, he plays full blast. Never Gonna Give You Up.
but it's just your neighbor.
The ice cream guy, the guy that sells the Mexican ices.
He Rick rolls everybody.
He Rick rolls everybody.
That's
good.
Kind of funny.
I know.
Yeah, I do. It is weird that like all ice cream trucks are the same because they seem to be completely independent businesses. There's not like a corporation of them, but they all do the same goddamn thing.
Well,
like the same way.
Well, there was like ice cream trucks.
Pop goes the weed.
Yeah, there's like ice cream trucks that were shaped like ice cream trucks. And then you just saw somebody like a van that painted prices on the outside of it. Like, you're just going to Costco.
They had a free stand-up freezer in it. With a big belt coming over the top.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? It's still the same ice cream. I ain't gonna fault you for trying to not work outside of a taxable law.
Yeah.
Imagine being the cop that's gonna pull over the ice cream man to bust him for permits. Like, what a villain.
Just some guy like slugging himself out of a chair every time, like
Yeah.
like heaving himself up, and then, all right, I'll get you a drumstick. Hold on 1 second. Bends over, crack
man.
of his ass hanging out.
Like how
What a-
none of us are drinking right now, so I'm like, ooh, drumstick.
Yummy. I almost bought a package yesterday.
From you almost got rickrolled into an ice cream?
Yeah. No, I was at the grocery store. My mom used to tell me.
This episode's about ice cream.
yeah.
Yeah, we're on lies. Your parents told you,
Mhm.
not ice cream trucks. So
Oh.
we could.
Oh,
I don't know.
when did I had something?
Yes.
When did they stop giving a shit about the traditional lies your folks told you, like Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy,
Mhm.
Easter Bunny? Like, when were your parents over that for you?
When we discovered that the Easter Bunny was giving us all the same silver dollar that we were then losing, and then the Easter Bunny was just giving it to us again, or not the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
No,
you
sorry.
a prospector
the
family?
the Tooth
Silver
Fairy.
dollar.
The Tooth Fairy was just giving us all the same silver dollar over and over again. That's when we started to be suspicious that something was up.
Yeah. Okay.
Santa was held on to for like a long time. I think it's still like my mom would still deny the existence of it just for the sake of like being fun.
Yeah.
But like I was
Okay.
old enough to where like we were coming back from midnight mass and she got
Mhm.
my cousin to like be in the house in a Santa suit.
Aw, that's sweet.
Like, oh, we're coming in and he's running out and I'm like
That's cute.
good, yeah, like really. But it was kind of like that's Santa. I'm like, I'm 14.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got it. This now. Who are you? Are you lying to me? Or are you lying to yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
That's a little bit of a jump.
It's,
I think I was probably around like, I don't know, 3. No, I think 11 or 12 was probably when we stopped
Yeah.
doing all of it. I remember one time I lost a tooth, and I go to my dad. I go, I lost a tooth, and he goes, "Oh, fucking Christ!" Like, he just got like, he's like if he had been like, if he was like, we can't afford for you to lose a tooth, I wouldn't have known what it meant.
Yeah.
Like, every dollar counts kind of thing.
yeah. Yeah, we're not. You're not getting paid out for this.
Like a teeth are falling out.
Yeah.
I can't put gas in my truck. I got to give my son $1 because he can't brush his fucking teeth.
I lost. Yeah, I the Easter Bunny thing and like all of them. I think it was. I don't know. It was just kind of like you let it fizzle, but there was no declaration that it was over because
Yeah.
I don't think there needs.
I mean,
I
that's
don't
a
think there
wild one
needs
if a
to be.
parent does that.
My cousin's kids who are young said like in school the teacher told them they're like 8. The teacher's like Santa.
Ew.
Like a teacher said Santa Claus isn't real. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I understand there's like a moral, like okay, yeah, we're teaching. We have to teach kids to be honest. At the same time, we've built this structure of lies to get for mystery for these kids,
Yeah.
and then we have to go back.
Well, this is like,
Lying's a sin. Also, after Santa comes, we got to go to church where you can confess your lies. But Santa's not going to come unless you tell the priest that you lied and you're sorry. It's the
Mommy, Coach Kyle. Hey, Coach Kyle.
Yeah.
Coach Kyle.
Oh, I don't have my hat.
Does Santa know Jesus?
I don't have Coach
They're
Kyle
the same
energy.
day.
right
They're the same day. Jesus' birthday and Santa coming.
Santa was the original birthday
is
clown for
Santa-
Jesus. Jesus had a party. Santa was the clown. It's part of the tradition. Virgin Mary was an object only used to facilitate the birth of our Lord and Savior. Eat your vegetables. Coach Kyle, out.
Was this in with the 3 men in the manger?
You want to hear one of my earliest jokes ever?
Yes.
I was
Yes, Coach Kyle.
Coach Kyle. About how like the three wise men, because I have a birthday around Christmas, like the three wise men, like one brought frankincense, one brought myrrh, and the third one brought him gold. I'm like, I bet the one that gave him the gold was like, yeah, but that's for your birthday and Christmas.
That's funny.
Early on. I think first set I ever did. I think
Always had it.
always in there, baby. Coach, I gotta prep. I really have to prep for Coach Kyle to get in the mood. I can't. It's a whole other mindset.
I should just send you like 4 Fox News articles before we start.
Yeah, I really gotta go. I have to be embedded. Well, that's okay. What kind of was there any like political lies or like societal lies that came down from how your parents like believe, like their beliefs got passed down to you?
I don't know if this, I mean, it fits more into societal, but my dad used to tell me that that they ran out of room in the graveyards like years ago, so now they just bury everybody standing up.
All right, put a point on the board for old Donnie Connolly, everybody.
I would if I had kids.
Don the Con is what we call it.
Yeah.
If I had kids, that's absolutely the kind of lies I would tell them, just to like, just let them, let them run with it.
So much better, yeah.
Because it is so much farther into your adulthood until you realize that that is not true.
Yeah.
And when you learn it's not true, you're like, that is embarrassing. I should have figured that out.
Because why do caskets have a flat bottom then? They should all just kind of be loaded from the top like a push pop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's for presentation at the funeral. Then they go vertical.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't really, there's nothing coming to mind of like legit for silly kind of lies or anything. Like just like, I'm going to goof on my kid and tell him this much. I can't really think of any offhand. It was like, it was either religious or holiday based lies. I can't even think of stuff to like keep us in order. Like, there's ghosts over there, so don't go play in that field. Like, to keep me. It was like, no, there's bad people or something. I'm like, okay.
I don't have a ton that comes straight to my mind. My brothers would tell me I was adopted.
Oh yeah, we told my sister she was adopted.
Yeah, and I kind of believed it because my brothers were so much darker than me.
But they're your younger brothers, right?
But older and younger, but they were much closer. But we're only a year apart. But they
look alike,
got along a lot better when we were younger.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's funny for younger siblings to tell the oldest sibling they were adopted. Like, that's ice cold, man.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that angle.
I know we came later, but
they would tell me that, and I kind of did believe it.
Really?
I think I was just always a little bit sensitive to that for whatever reason.
Oh, we told my sister not that she was adopted, but that she was a twin, and the other twin, her name was Cindy, of course, because that was the prettiest name that existed in our heads. And she was
Cindy. Was there a Cindy Crawford play?
Probably. She was a famous movie star that lived in Los Angeles, and everyone liked her better, and we got stuck with her.
God damn. That's
wow.
I guarantee she still thinks about that. She still's mad about that.
Oh, she
You really gave her the Danny DeVito treatment from Twins.
Yeah.
Man.
We told her that if she wore her floaties on her feet, that she could walk across the pool. And then my cousin had to give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation because that did not work.
Tell me you're on good terms with the sibling now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's the nice one.
Well, no shit, she's the nice one. She's got enough trauma in her.
Just 2 feet sticking up out of floaties and then flailing. Like, well, I guess that didn't work.
God. I don't know if I've told this on here, but one time I was like 5 or 6, and we were at a 4th of July barbecue, and I had floaties on my arms. And I jumped off, and they just shot off my arms when I just like into the air like bottle rockets. And I remember like sinking down, not in a panic, but like, well, this is interesting.
Oh,
And and my mom just like, I just remember her legs, seeing her legs come down first into my line of vision.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. And then she like pulled me out. I mean, it was not as traumatic as you would think like a near drowning was, but God damn it. I remember they just shot off and everybody was like, well, these might not be that safe. Like all the dads were talking about it, you know?
I remember it was like April Fool's Day, and my dad's not like a jokey kind of guy. And I was a little kid, and he's like, "Your hair's on fire." I was like, "Oh my God." And I started like freaking out. Like it was just he just said it. "Oh, your hair's on fire." And he goes, "April Fools." I didn't know what April Fools was. I'm like, "Why would you say that to me?" I'm like a child. And you never joke about anything ever. And I thought I was on fire. Like,
It's so crazy, like what constitute the difference between a lie and a joke
Yeah.
is like razor
it's also
thin,
like,
you know,
well, then put it out. You're my dad. Put it out. So what? I didn't get that at all. I'm not a fan of pranks to this day. Not a fan of pranks. At some point in our illustrious love lives, we've all asked our partner the same age-old question that guys have probably been asking for 1,000 years. Am I big? Well, MeUndies, oh, pirate panties. MeUndies doesn't know the actual answer to that or if your partner gave you the actual truth. This Valentine's Day, they can help you look huge with their contoured pouch and ball caddy. Every Valentine's Day needs a Valentine's night, and MeUndies is your perfect thirst trap to get the mood right. If I feel comfortable, talk about the contoured pouch and ball caddy. If I feel comfortable as hell, I like having my stuff fluffed up front and center. Hey man, I got a bouquet. Don't just you got a bouquet of flowers. You're not just gonna put it in a box. You're gonna put it in a vase. You know. I've been told I have a perky dinger. Style for everyone, from all black classics. That's what I call my junk. That's the name of the underpants. They're versatile. They've got unmatched comfort. The stuff you feel, it won't be matched. They're responsibly sourced. These underpants are made by angels. Problem-free philosophy. That's how I like to live. If you don't like them, it's on them. They'll take on the responsibility for it. I love them. I love them. I love stuffing my stuff in a little package out front. I like doing that. Like,
You know what I like
we're
about
waiting for the mail.
MeUndies?
We're waiting for
fun
the mailman.
patterns.
Yeah, there's patterns, but the cool features are that they just tuck all your stuff like right under the heat lamp. Order up, you know. If we're done cooking, bring this out to the table. That's what the pouch does.
Yeah,
I would recommend to him a friend. Shane, I'd say you wear them. You got a little Perky Dinger and a couple buddies. You got a little Gladys Knight and the Pips down there. Well, guess what? They're on the main stage tonight with MeUndies. This Valentine's Day, good things come in big packages at MeUndies. Get 20% off your first order, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/NAFT. That's MeUndies. MEUNDIES.com/NAFT for 20% off plus free shipping. They want your junk in their cups. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in. That sounds like an ad for BetterHelp, but also it's for these underpants.
Well, I guess we didn't do any research this week, so we can't really block it up
Yeah.
as much as we do. But like, what do you think the good thing about lying? Like these little lies, like I guess the Santa Christmas thing is kind of obvious in that it's
Yeah. Or
it gives your kid a bit of wonder and imagination. I think that's the benefit from it.
Well, I think just Santa in general, like it takes the onus off the parents of like, oh, I'm going to spoil the kids. Like it's a bit of, it's manipulative. Like, were you a good boy or a bad boy this year? Because then Santa knows.
My mom used to get on the phone and say, I'm sending him back. He's sending him back. You guys aren't behaving. I'm calling him and I'm telling him. And then she'd go, you hear that? Yep. He just threw one back.
Dude, you know,
He just threw one back. That sounded like a Barbie, Charlene.
I would be such a shitty parent because I wouldn't be able to stop myself
No kidding.
from absolutely just manipulating reality for my own enjoyment to watch a child's reaction.
100%. Yeah.
Like that's all I could think about. My mom kept threatening me with boarding school or military school. And I was a good kid.
Yeah.
I was a good kid, but I was like, we're gonna send you to military school if you don't straighten out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not a bad kid. I didn't get in any trouble ever. And it was like, but she would use that like when you like you're just saying it because like as an adult you're saying things, but as a kid you take it all so seriously.
Yeah.
Like you take everything they're saying as fact, and I would abuse that entirely.
Right.
Especially if your kid's being kind of annoying. Like, well, I'm gonna ship you away if you don't shut up right now.
When we were annoying, my mom used to tell us that she would go to leave the house and we'd say like, where are you going? And she'd go, I'm going crazy, want to come? And then we'd all pile in the car and she would drive just around the block until we got bored and wanted to get out. And then we would get out of the car and then she would go do whatever it was that she was going to go do by herself.
Connolly household sounded like a wild ride.
Wild.
No, I remember this unlocked a memory. April Fool's Day. I was like in second or third grade, and the teachers all gave a test to all the kids. Like, you know, there was like 20 kids in each class, but we were all kind of blocked together, and they were just kind of like folding dividers that separated the rooms. So they opened all the dividers, and they're like, "All right, guys, it's a big day. We have a test for you, and this test like determines whether or not you're gonna pass like the third grade or whatever day, like whatever year it was." And I remember like panicking right away and writing like, and it was like essay questions.
Yeah.
And then I handed it in, and they just like marked it all up, and they were like, and it was just like, it was an April Fool's joke. And I was like crying taking the test.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, they were like, this test is for fun. And I was like, Miss Golden, you're an evil bitch.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kids, to know the kids aren't on the mental level to understand jokes. Like, I'm absolving my parents for anything they did because I would have done that 100%. I'm trying to think about friends' kids or something where like, if we're like playing a game or like, to my parents' credit, there was nothing too manipulative. I think going to military school is a bit much because then I legit, but also I took everything so seriously. Like the Catholic guilt, like I got into this, like, if I confess everything all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of what fucked me up a little bit too.
Oh, it fucked me up. My mom was like, she's like, you and your friend went to the park and you found matches and you were playing with matches and you came home and you were so terrified that you told me that you played with matches and you were like so guilt-ridden. She's like, I had to stop myself from laughing in your face. How much you were falling apart over the idea that you did something bad. I'm like, well, then maybe pump the brakes on the emotional discipline. Deb. If I've got acid reflux when I'm 7 because of existential dread, maybe CCD isn't going the way you want it to for me. Maybe the heavy-handed Catholicism isn't going so good.
Taking its toll on you a bit.
Yeah. Maybe I feel like a priest that has to absorb the demons during every exorcist at recess every day.
Why don't we flip it a little bit? What is the worst lie you told your parents when you were little?
I am awful at lying. I can't lie. I can't, like,
I'm pretty good at it.
Really? Then you tell me. I
Yeah.
failed. I failed. Anytime I tried to lie, I folded so fast. As tied in with the guilt thing. I would give up. I'd betray myself half a sentence in.
Betray myself. Some would say you betray yourself by lying.
Where was I?
Amen.
Well, I was actually full of shit. I was over here. Yeah.
God. Yeah. I remember I knew who burned down the playground at the elementary school. and
Mhm.
they're like, there was like a big like, who does anyone know? And I was like, I got no idea. And I knew exactly who it was.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was, I remember like, it was plastic. The slides were plastic and they like drip down. They look like melted cheese being pulled off the side of a piece of bread. You know, like,
Yeah.
it was just like these gooey stalactites.
Whoa.
Yeah. And everybody was like, and the smell it released and the chemicals,
Ooh.
like it really released all over the playground. Oh my God. They're like,
That's,
we can't go outside today because someone burned down the playground.
I remember coming home stoned and immediately, like again, I'm always paranoid when I'm high, and my mom just looked at me. She said, "What were you doing?" And I was like, "Smoking weed." Like it just came. I couldn't. There wasn't even a second of like being able to lie about it, and I lost my mind because I said that, and then she was yelling at me like, "It's like, you know what they put in there? Heroin, PCP." I'm laughing so hard, like I'm getting in trouble, and I cry laughing. And then my dad's like, "Listen, I don't mind smoking grass every once in a while." I'm like, "He calls it grass." And I called up my friend Bob, who just dropped me off. He had gotten home. I'm like, I got busted. They're probably going to call your parents too. And I was laughing so hard on the phone. But yeah, I can't.
Oh, God.
I am such a Rachel is always like, I'm like, I'm a shitty liar. She's like, that's what really good liars say. I'm like, well, I can't win with you. So
I mean, it's true. It is true. This is something we
Yeah.
like good liars will say. But I remember
who burnt down the playground? Do
One
you want to
time-
get that off your chest?
what?
You want to get who burnt the playground off your
Oh,
chest?
well, I know I don't want to sell them out. I don't know what the statute of limitations are on destruction of public
I'm
property
guessing
in
it's
elementary
more
schools in
than
Tarrant County
more
area.
than 35 years.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. Well, I think we all know who did it because his mom was a teacher at the school.
Well,
Oh,
well.
the plot thickens.
Inside job, baby. It's like the informant. I remember being able to not lie one time. I came home drunk with my buddy Jesse
Mhm.
in the middle of the night, and I thought my mom was doing her night shift, and she would just be up at night sometimes because her clock was so fucked, you know. And I came in and she goes, "You're home really late," and I was like, "Oh yeah, Mom, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty drunk." And I go, and she goes, and I go, "Also, Jesse's with me, and he's shit faced."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Okay, fine. Make sure he doesn't throw up on my carpet." And I was like, "All right." And the next morning, she woke us up at like 7 a.m. just clanging and banging.
Yeah.
And she goes, she hid all the aspirin and then made us clean out the garage.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
All
Yeah,
right.
Ma was good at creative punishment. I'll give her that. Like, she fucking. You ever like you don't wear a hat indoors?
Yeah.
You know that. Yeah. She would tell everybody once they could not wear a hat. All our friends, if they had a ball cap on, she'd be like, "Take it off." And if
Yeah.
she caught them wearing it again inside the house, she would walk behind them, grab their hat, and she'll be like, "You get it back when you leave."
Yeah.
And then she would cover it in water and put it in the freezer.
Damn, man.
But like some guys were like, "Dude, it's July in Texas. it's kind of a blessing.
We gotta go over to
it
the
just
Torres
cools you all
household.
off.
Get that frosty
Yeah.
lid.
Some of,
Get the
some of
to-go
that
air conditioner.
redneck air conditioning
Yeah.
to go.
Give me that ice cap.
My mom, God would always punish us because immediately following us doing something bad, something bad to us would happen. She'd be like, God did it. My brother, she told him not to dye his hair green, and he did it anyway. And then he was allergic to the dye, and so he got violently ill from it. And I can just remember him throwing up and her walking in the room and being like, God punishing you. It's God.
Wow. That was I got in a lot of trouble. I dyed my hair red. And my mom oh, God bless her. She's like yelling at me. So you know how many carcinogens are in red hair dye? I'm like, you're smoking a cigarette right now.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah.
And when they like the full shutdown, when it's just like, this isn't about me. Like, oh yeah, there's no recourse from that one.
Mm-mm.
We gotta you
When you-
gotta retreat right now, Mom. This one you got no dog in this fight with the carcinogen argument.
It is maybe the most gratifying feeling as a child is to win an argument with your parents, like logically,
Oh.
and not through a tantrum. Like,
Did you ever have that moment where you know you won the argument logically and you're like, hell is gonna rain down on me for this? Because now they're now it's not even like, well, but now they're pissed. now it's this is gonna be even worse than if I kept my mouth shut.
I remember, like, I was of my brothers, and I would say I was the most well behaved one.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like, my mom was trying to get everybody to walk the straight and narrow, and I was never in that much trouble. And she would, like, at one point, she was trying to, like, win it over with kindness and just kind of be like talk to them as opposed to punish them. And I'd be like, you're always taking them out to dinner and shit. And I know, like, I'm the only one who hasn't been expelled from high school. And she'd be like, yeah, but you don't need it. You know, like, I need to, and I'd be like, yeah, but I'm the only one who deserves it. Like, sent her into tears. I feel bad just sharing that story.
Yeah.
You know, like, she just couldn't win, the poor fucking woman. God damn it. What a fucking saint my mother was. Jesus Christ.
Making him cry felt bad.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not even mad. I'm just so disappointed.
Oh.
Like that was reserved. That one didn't come out a lot. When that one came out, you're like, oh, I guess I fucked something up.
How good? Yeah, I fucking one time my buddy told me the story that his parents, he threw a party or something, and it was crazy. And like this girl, nothing happened to her, but like it sounded like the way his parents got the information that she was like assaulted, you know, and she was not, thank God. But I remember he told me his dad. He goes, my dad said to me, when I get home, I'm going to be happy to see you, but you're not going to be happy to see me.
Yeah.
That says everything.
Get in the car, bring a shovel. Whoa, no. What? I got busted. The first time I got drunk was at my friend's house, and we got just, first time being drunk and wasted and mixing Tang with vodka and everything, just being psychos. Cleaned up all the mess. I threw up everywhere. I like ripped my shirt because he had to drag me to the bathroom because I was barfing. We cleaned up everything, all the furniture. His parents are coming home early. I'm running up the stairs like hungover Santa Claus with like the bag, all the beer cans to hide in his bedroom. I get it up there. I'm coming downstairs like, I think we got it. And he's on the couch going, Kyle and I got drunk last night. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? We put all the effort in to covering this up, but he was guilty too. But then I walked home to my parents' house. My dad was out, like they called my parents. And instead of like being pissed, like my dad, like I'm just dragging myself home hungover at 18, and my dad's out doing lawn work, just looking at me like, how you feel? he's like, man, ooh, your mom's got something to say to you. Like he was excited for how much my mom was going to be pissed at me. He didn't care. He's like, yeah, you get drunk when you're a kid, you fuck up. But boo, your mom's going to handle this one. But he just had this grin. Like, oh boy, how you feel, buddy?
That's like a weird adult, like that's how sad it gets later on. At times, like you're just like, man, I can't wait to see my wife give it to my son over.
Yeah,
like,
and you're hungover,
like,
and now you're gonna get yelled at.
Yeah.
This is gonna be something special today.
Yeah, I saw some comic do a bit once on. It was like the average adult laughs 15 times a day, while a child laughs 1,000 or something like that. And you're just like, and he goes, and they're not even good ones. They're just like, Bill got fired.
Oh.
I wish I had weirder ones. It was like any food based ones, like all like if you don't finish your food, something starving people wherever, or this food makes you stronger or something. It was always like
Or the watermelon seeds. You'll grow.
oh yeah, you watermelon seed
yeah.
will grow inside of you.
Yeah.
That's it. See, I would take that stuff so
Gum, 7 years gum.
yeah.
I would take all that stuff so literally.
Yeah,
Like if I'm like, we have to go to the doctor, I swallowed a watermelon seed. We have to go to the emergency room.
That's so funny because I would swallow one on purpose just to see if it was real. And then I would be like, nothing's true.
there's no God.
No,
I didn't
they're
grow a
all
watermelon
lying to
inside me. There's no Christ.
No. My dad once taught my brother how to play chess, and I was so jealous that he was teaching my brother how to play chess and not me. And my uncle was like, I don't know, a really high level chess player. And so when we went to go visit my uncle, it was all so that my brother could play chess against my uncle. And when he went to play chess against my uncle is when we all learned that my dad on purpose taught my brother how to play chess incorrectly just to watch him be embarrassed.
I'm not envious of your childhood, but man, these are the best stories in the world. Your
We want
parents,
somebody to animate some of Charlene's childhood stories.
why are we the comedians? Charlene's got way better stories.
Shit.
I'm gonna teach my kid wrong. My dad was growing weed in the basement in an aquarium in his secret room. I remember my cousin and I being in there, and that was the biggest one. Like, what are you growing? He's like, tomatoes. And we're just like, how come there's never tomatoes out? He's like, I'm doing it wrong. Get out.
That's funny.
Just no time to even come up with a creative like, because I'm doing it wrong. Go bother your mom.
I remember my dad would steal cable, like he had a hot box.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my mom was like, not with it, like she didn't like it, and he goes, no, this all comes with it, like because my mom didn't watch TV,
Yeah.
so we would have like all the premium channels, and he'd be like, yeah, this is all free stuff. It's a good value, just the regular cable itself. We don't need the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then like one day the cable box was just fucking gone, and there were cords hanging out of the wall. So,
That was not necessarily a lie, but a scam. I probably told you what my buddy will go. He'd have like an orange vest and a hard hat, and he would just go out to the pole with the cable on it and hook his cable up because he knew how to do it. And he's like, if you look like you work for the cable company, nobody gives a shit. He goes out there in the middle of the day and just splices the cable to his place. Because like if you look like you're working for him, nobody cares. I'm like,
Yeah.
Nice.
You would never question it.
yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff.
That's to jump back to the renting thing for just 1 second, like way
Yeah.
earlier. If you're doing shit like that, you can just be like, I don't know, it was like this when I moved in here. Like, I'm going to tell you guys I have free cable. Like, if you did that,
yeah.
it's another advantage to renting. Actually, renting should be a good
Defend
episode.
renting.
A good
Yeah,
one.
I mean,
Yeah. But before we go into calls, what was the best lie/rumor in your high school to elementary, like about any kid, any teacher?
ooh.
I'll start one just like
Yeah.
there was a rumor that my second grade teacher, Miss McMines, had a revolver in her desk.
Oh my God.
Where like, and I when I got her, because everyone was like, she's the meanest woman.
Yeah.
I was like, she's the best teacher ever. Like, she was so sweet. And there was obviously no gun in her desk. And then then in third grade, I had her for second grade. Third grade, I think I might have shared this. It was a band assembly. She had a stroke in front of every kid, or like an embolism, and just fell over in front of every kid outside.
Oh no!
They air flighted her out. Like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
What's also funny now is
R.I.P. Miss McMind.
to think about how every teacher probably does have a gun in their desk nowadays, or you'd hope they would.
Well,
Yeah.
in Georgia, they made a law so that they had to.
They can. Had to or can?
I think it was had to, but I think it got repealed.
Thank Christ.
My God.
I can't.
Yeah.
Everyone said Mr. Pine smoked weed, and now that I'm an adult, Mr. Pine's definitely smoked weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
that's
like,
not bad.
so and so's coffee cup is full of vodka or something. And
Oh,
like,
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, those are typical kind of.
But the rumors,
And they're also probably true.
yeah, the rumors wound up being
For some
true.
of-
Yeah, there was like a field trip. The Spanish class went to Spain one summer between junior and senior year, and like, well, wine is part of the custom, and young people could have wine with dinner. Everybody was shit faced. I think the teacher banged one of the students. Like that was true. Like we had the thing. Yeah, it was. I can't think of like. Rumors were just like, oh, so and so had an abortion, or so and so sleeping with so and so.
Yeah.
Like nothing high profile.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, that was like lascivious. And the shit just came true. Like the quarterback, our star quarterback, killed a dude prom weekend.
Yeah.
Like murdered a guy beat up a guy. Didn't know he killed him. They arrested him. He went into shock at knowing that he killed the guy. Got out. Maybe 5 or 6 years later. I think went on to like speak to high schools about violence and this and that, and like seeing a 24-year-old with stark white hair, because like that's how much the idea that he killed somebody. But then it's like, oh, good, he's reformed. But then his brother pushed his girlfriend out of a moving car in high school too.
Sounds like something was going on at the house. Huh?
There was. Well, my buddy down the street from his house, he came home. My buddy, we were like, you drive around the burbs just getting stoned. He came home one night and there was just police tape. He couldn't even get to his house. And there was like 4 houses down from him. The kid went and stabbed his ex-girlfriend, 30 times, had graves dug in the backyard. And she lived, so she went running down the street to all the houses for help. And it's fun. I guess that was the same house that now it's just like that was the same house for Halloween. My buddy, his brother was dressed up as a lady for Halloween back when you would do that kind of stuff. And these shitty kids, the one that turned out to be a murderer, like threw eggs at his car, so he got out of his car to chase them in a dress, and then the other kid just hopped in the car and put it in drive and hopped out. So then my buddy just had to chase his unmanned car down the street while he was wearing a lady's outfit. Addison had some ripe ones.
Yeah. Oh man, it was a Crowley had a couple of those too.
Yeah.
It was just pretty close. Yeah. Well, I think it's about time for a little bit of voicemails. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor, Church. It's kind of a lie.
I am excited to hear what goofy lies parents tell their kids. I wish I had more.
I'm thrilled about I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
I think like that kind of stuff pops up when your brothers are like, no, that's not what happened. Or when your sibling is like, this is how it actually went down. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not like Secret Families or something. So.
No, yeah. I'm sure we're going to get some of those.
Someone did call in for that. But
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't mean to spoil.
So I didn't pull it.
My grandfather had, I don't know if it's secret. Well, I guess it was a secret to him too. But I have an aunt named Ingrid from the war, German woman.
Oh,
just outside of Carolinas.
Well, here's a big old family lie. my grandmother's the illegitimate child of like a mob boss in Chicago, and she would never talk about it. Her father, who she only kind of knew, was a legitimate businessman, and that's all my grandmother would say. But her and my aunt were the illegitimate children of a mob boss that had his own family in Chicago and was like pals with Al Capone. And so the only details my grandmother would she was just like, what was the Great Depression like? And she was like, oh, well, I wanted to take piano lessons, so he bought me a grand piano, but we left it in one of the apartments because it was too big to move. And that was, so yeah, I got mob blood in me. That's the big old family lie right there. Right. Yeah.
Connected Canaan.
Well, not really, because it was the illegitimate, so it was not spoken of.
Okay, well, let's hear from the Cody Cats. What do you say?
Okay, here's the first one.
Hey, guys. I was calling in because of lies you were told as a kid. I mean, obviously we all have a bunch of them, but my two favorites that my dad told me that took me forever to get over was the first one is if you squeeze too hard while pooping, you'll blow yourself inside out, and you'll live inside out in the toilet forever. And that's why I don't have an older brother. And the other one is the wind is tree sneezing. So for a year, I walked around whispering "bless you" every time the wind blew. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you when you come to Fort Collins later.
Oh, man.
That's adorable.
Oh, that's like a child's book, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you hear the story about the little boy who said "God bless you" to all the trees?
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
So now,
oh god, the pooping one, more our demo, but
well, that's what happened to his older brother.
Yeah,
let's tell you, if you sit on the concrete, you get hemorrhoids. That might be true though. If you sit on the hard ground too long. But I'm like a little kid, and I'm like, well, what are hemorrhoids? And my mom's like, I'll explain later. I'm like, don't threaten me with something, then not tell me what it is.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just don't sit on the concrete.
Something with my ass? Something's going to go wrong with my ass, and now you won't flush out the story? No pun intended.
Well, speaking of asses, here's one about asses.
Hey, boys. So my parents always told me to wipe my ass while standing up, and I've done that into my adult life. And now I'm realizing that's the reason I have a shitty ass, because my cheeks squeeze together, and it just takes way longer to wipe. That's why I clog every toilet I come into contact with. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know about that. Parents totally lied to me and my young, unhairy ass. Okay, anyway, bye.
What? Is this an example of like a family secret that like you don't talk about it with strangers, so you will go uneducated in the manner for generations?
Like the poop stick.
What's the poop stick?
So I'm going to preface this by saying that I learned about this on TikTok, and my family did not have a poop stick. But apparently, a lot of people,
sure.
Like if you get constipated and you're having trouble getting it out, they have a literal stick that you can just like poke in there to help get the poop out. And if we had one of those, I would not be talking about it.
Kind of like a take the penny out of the dryer track.
Yeah.
Kind of move.
That's not how constipation works. It's not like it's right there.
Look.
How does constipation work?
Your intestines, there's miles of intestines. It's not one straight line. You could just You're gonna poke through your rectum. It's all in there. You can't just poke the end.
Yeah, it's loop-de-loo. You need a curly straw.
Yeah, you can't just nudge it.
Yeah. You need a straw for like one of those big
Yeah.
things you walk down the strip with
It's
in
not
Vegas.
the crust on the end of the mustard where once that's off, we're free flowing.
The
disgusting.
I had a real must puss shit until I got
That's
the
right.
poo stick out.
That's right.
Oh God!
But this dude, like, I don't want to believe this was real. That this guy stands up, fucking wax
Squeezes.
presses, presses like pressed leaves. Just makes a Rorschach out of his ass. Just
perfect description.
and then
and just starfishes. Yeah.
Just common sense. As soon as you stand up, you know you're locking it in. Like, I don't want to. I'm going to refuse. I'm going to allow myself to think this is a prank call.
Okay.
To go on with my day today. I'm
That
not
we got
gonna
total lie. That we got total lie.
Yes,
lie
hopefully maybe that
episode?
we're being told a
Rude.
lie. That somebody's.
Rude.
That means there's somebody walking around with just cake frosting ass cheeks, standing up.
Oh.
There's no angle to it if you stand up. I'm upset by that call.
It wasn't a call. It was Charlene talking about the poo stick.
No, I'm talking about
No,
the
the
guy
one-
who's wiping his ass standing up.
Yeah.
Call back in. Let us know if you're still doing it since you've realized
Oh
this.
boy. Well,
Yeah.
Here's one that might put you in a better mood.
Soup guy,
Oh, I know
soup guy
what
and
we
poop guy.
Hey, no accounting for taste. This is Colin, first time, long time. I'm sure everybody has called in already about the don't stick your head out the bus window, otherwise you'll get your head chopped off. But that was the defining, oh my God, don't do this stupid shit of your childhood for me. And to be honest, all of those things, I don't feel bad about hearing it. Most of them, I actually learned something that I shouldn't do. And the more I think about it, if I ever have kids, I plan on telling them, don't do this stupid thing. Otherwise, this ridiculously terrible thing is going to happen to you. So I don't feel bad about telling your kids you're going to die because you stuck your head out and it's going to get decapitated by a tree when it's outside the bus window. Okay, bye.
So in favor of lying to the kids. If you got to come up with mythology to keep people in order and then you realize that mythology was just for your survival. I get it. Branches hit the bus all the time. It's a tall vehicle. Branches aren't always trimmed in residential streets. You might not lose your whole head, but you can get fucked up, poke an eye out.
I get it, but then you could just tell them like, hey, if you do this, this could happen. You don't have to be like, you remember Tim used to have a little brother. Now he's got half of one.
But I think that comes into the creative storytelling combined with the boredom of parents going like, well, I've just been around children all day. I'm going to start lying to them because otherwise I got to retain some sense of being an adult. And like, I'm going to lie to these kids. I don't agree with it, but I don't have kids. I would lie to kids all the time.
Yeah, but these like, as long as you're not like Cliff Clavening your kids to death, and you're kind of.
I don't know, Charlene. What else did your dad teach you wrong? The chess thing's hilarious.
Oh, one time we were all in the basement and he comes and gets us. There's like 5 of us teenagers and he was like, let's go watch there's a house burning down the street. Let's go watch it burn. And so we all went with him to watch the house burn. And then somebody said, oh, if only we had marshmallows. And he pulled a bag of marshmallows out of his pocket. And the only reason we were there was just in case somebody asked or said, if only we had marshmallows. So
you don't often work a prop comedy into a tragedy
Structure
on a
fire.
street where people are now financially destitute.
Oh,
My mom,
Oh
my
my
mom
God.
used to wake my sister and I up in the middle of the night because she would stay up all night, and then we'd get up and get into the kitchen. She's like, "What are you doing up? It's dark." She'd be like, "You're late for school," and we'd get up and run in the kitchen.
oh
Like,
no!
what are you doing? It's still dark out. Go back to bed just to see if we'd stay up. my dad worked midnight, so he was gone, and so my mom would just stay up at night, and then she'd just vacuum. She was like, "Oh, you're up." Yeah, I'm up. You're vacuuming my
3
room at
a.m.
3 a.m.
Oh my god!
What'd you think was gonna happen?
Well,
That's
here's
awesome.
a dad that did a mean thing.
So when I was about 10, I had the issue of leaving my bike everywhere. So it would just be in like a neighbor's yard or something like that. I was a real idiot. So my dad finally had enough of this. So he stole my bike and then hid it in the backyard. So I was distracted doing something. I came back and my bike was gone. And I was just like, oh shit, not this. So I go to my dad. I'm like, somebody stole my bike. And my dad goes, maybe you shouldn't leave it every fucking where. So I guess you don't have a bike now, you know? And so I was
Because you don't have a
devastated, right?
bike now.
And I'm just like, now what am I going to do? I don't have a bike. You know, I can't get around. So I'm playing in the backyard and I go around the side and I see my bike there. And I'm so confused as to what it's doing there. So then I go to my dad. I'm like, why is my bike over here? You know? And he's like, well, I needed to teach you a lesson because somebody could have stole it. But, you know, there you go. At least you have a bike still, and then walks away.
I think that's a lesson. I don't think
So,
that's
yeah,
that
it's,
bad. I don't think that's that bad.
So when I was in high school, please tell me to stop if you want me to stop. But when I was in high school,
I know. What are you kidding? This is like maybe your best game.
Yeah.
when I was in high school,
This is like Jordan flu game level.
my brother got really high, and or maybe drunk, I don't remember, but he left the car or our van in the library parking lot with the doors open and the keys in the ignition. And so the cops call my parents and are like, why is your car here? And they're like, that fucking idiot son of ours. And so they went and picked up the car and then drove it down the cul-de-sac, like away from our house. And so then when my brother got back to where the car was, it wasn't there. And so he had to come home and admit to my parents that he had lost the car, that it had got stolen, or whatever story he was going to tell. And they made him call the police and file a report. But the police knew what was up because they were the ones that told us the car was there originally. So he files this report. He's on the phone for like a fucking hour. His friend Sean is with him. And then after like an hour, my dad threw the keys down the stairs to the basement at him and said, don't drive high. And the car is in the end of the street. And Sean was like, your parents are so fucking weird, and walked out of the house and never came back to our house.
I think your parents are awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like they're doing a good. I wish he was just like, I wish he was gonna like lost the van and like he was gonna bet on a game of chess. And then he really, I don't know. I couldn't. I thought I couldn't lose.
Here's the next one.
Lovely.
Oh shoot.
Connecticut again. What are you guys calling about lies that we were told as a kid? My mom was a smoker, and she insisted that secondhand smoke wasn't that bad for you, and that we were just coughing for attention. Also, I'm the youngest of four, so my older siblings lied a lot. Like, I watched a lot of nature shows growing up. My sister told me that our parents were arguing in the kitchen over money because the nature shows cost so much to watch. She also told me that the bottom of the pool smells like strawberries. So yeah, love you guys. Meow 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 meow. More soup content. Thank you.
This guy has just been deprived of oxygen from every part of his family. Smell the bottom of the pool. It's just secondhand smoke. You're fine.
Yeah, it smells like strawberries.
It's creative.
It is pretty good.
I think every week I'm gonna want soup content and one story about a good lie that you were told when you were little, because these are rich.
Here's the next one.
Hey Kyle, hey Shane, hey Charlene. It's Anthony in Oklahoma. The subject this week is parents lying to their kids. When I was in about 4th grade or so, my dad was talking to me, and somehow the subject of the town of Muleshoe, Texas came up. Dad looks at me and says, "Oh no, it was actually named after a German immigrant, and it's pronounced Mullishoe." Thought that 100%. He's my dad. He'd never lied to me, right? Fast forward to 7th grade Texas history. And somehow, once again, the town of Muleshoe, Texas comes up from my teacher, Mrs. Pride, who had been teaching Texas history for decades at that point. So I popped my hand up and I said, "Actually, my dad said it was named after a German immigrant, and it's pronounced Mullishoe." Dead silence in class. And that was the moment when I realized you can't trust anyone. And in fact, I had kids, and kind of one of the reasons I had kids is because I wanted to be able to lie to them like that. In fact, my oldest, to this day, believes that I shaved off part of one of his eyebrows while he was asleep. He's 34. He still believes this. Oklahoma out.
But well, that would mean that he was missing part of his eyebrow at one point and didn't know why. So I think there's something that you need to be telling us. If you're waking up with less eyebrows than you went to bed with, something happened.
There is something about public embarrassment and learning that, like as a child, like that story reminds me, like sometimes you would just do things in your house that your folks were like, and then you're like, "Oh, you guys don't do that." Like your folks would always just be like
wipe your ass.
Like my buddy Ryan. Yeah, my buddy Ryan Donahue told this story once about how like his dad would just lean over the dining room table chair backwards, like he would straddle it.
Yeah.
And that meant he knew that meant it was time for him to shave his dad's back.
What kind of prison rules is that
like,
family?
You guys don't do that?
Hold my pocket.
Yeah.
Fucking prison rules.
Oh, man.
We have time for one more and then Cody. And this is kind of a sweet one, so I'll play this one.
Kyle, Shane, you guys rule. This is JP from SD. I think it's kind of cool when parents lie to their kids if it's involving a gift, like prior to giving them a gift or something like that. I'll never forget in 1995, that Blue album by Weezer came out. I'm in my room learning it. I had the tablature book on guitar. My dad's like, "Put that down. We're going to the batting cages." And I'm like, "Oh, I hate this. I'm not good at sports. I'm kind of done with this. I'd prefer to just play guitar." And on the way down, he's talking schematics and stance and slicing into the ball and what we got to work on that year. And I'm kind of whining. I'm grateful, but I'm kind of whining. And he's like, "Open the glove box," and there's Weezer tickets. And I never forgot that gesture. I thought it was kind of neat. So I love you guys. Thank you.
That's a sweet story.
Oh.
That's a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly knew how much you hated the batting cages too. He's like, "I guess I'll take my kid to go see these geeks." All right, you want to go see these dorks?
What
play
a
their
sweater, but
tunes?
just another kind of jersey. That is a very sweet story.
That is sweet.
That's awesome.
That's a way to wrap it up, except...
You learned something there.
Yeah. They're paying attention to your interests. They're listening to you.
You can lie for good and don't shit standing up, everyone.
You can shit standing up, just wipe sitting down.
Yeah. Let's see if he had borch this week.
Let's poop more soup. Cody, what do we got?
Let's soup time.
We need a soup jingle, I think.
We do need a soup jingle.
Okay, here we go.
Some men seek to cement their legacy by building the tallest building man could conceive. Some men want their names written in the history book. Me, I want to talk about soup sometimes on a podcast where the two hosts don't promote themselves enough. I am the soup man. My name is Cody. And tonight I had Wisconsin potato and cauliflower soup. There wasn't very many potatoes or pieces of cauliflower in it. It was mainly Wisconsin because it was a lot of cheese. If you're looking to warm up because you have 6-foot tall snowdrifts outside of your house, I would recommend a Wisconsin potato and cauliflower soup. It'll really fatten you up. The layers will help because there's only so much Carhartt. So if you find yourself cold, have some Wisconsin potato and cauliflower soup. 6 out of 10. Pretty good.
6 out of 10. Thanks,
I'm going to rein it in with these rankings. You know, I don't want to just be giving out 10 out of 10s.
That's good.
10 out of 10. Good shit.
Be discerning.
Yeah. Some of it's bad, depending on the place. You might hate it. 10 out of 10.
Wisconsin potato. That's a good soup if you are cold in Utah. And I'm glad you weren't just bowled over by it. Might I suggest a little black pepper when you're dealing with a cream-based soup like that? Cream or cheese-based soup. Throw a little black pepper.
I would say though, I agree with him in this. Like, in this, if there's not enough of the hardiness and it's just cheese, like I think more potatoes would give that soup a point bump or two.
It's hard to call something potato and cauliflower without proving it because it's nobody's ever like, oh, I can really taste the cauliflower in this.
Yeah,
it's a visual food. It's not a flavor.
That's
food.
just roughage.
Yeah, you want something to bite into. Understood. That's 6 out of 10. That makes sense. I mean, you didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Was it from a can? Did you make it from scratch? Is it from a restaurant there in Utah? This is the information I'd like to hear.
It sounds like canned because he did make it from scratch.
Yeah.
If he was making it from scratch, he would have been like, I need more potato.
I wouldn't just be sitting in Utah going, this is my Wisconsin potato and cheddar soup. I'd be like, this is my potato and cheddar soup.
And also, I get the impression if Cody was making it from scratch, we would have had great detail on what he was doing with it. And just what my man's doing. Like, and I mean that in full of love, but this guy is detail oriented, also, like a cereal.
Yeah, and I've never heard of this Wisconsin cheddar and potato or
what
cauliflower.
If we did
a
soup themed charity event, Soup-a-Palooza? Where all the cats show up with a bowl of soup.
It's like a
I like a soup off. Yeah, I'd like a soup off or soup brackets. Soup brackets.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we're in March. We could do March Soup Madness.
We've already got several that Cody's put in. We can bring our own in.
Mm-hmm.
This has potential. This has legs.
Yeah,
this does have legs.
Only on the Patreon.
Yeah, make sure to go to the Patreon.
You can vote there.
Yeah. And we'll have Kyle's recipe for his famous ultimate baked potato soup up there if you're on the page.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
My recipe. Soup-based content.
Just soup.
Oh man.
The ladle. The ladle and crock. That's our Patreon.
Stop that. Super crackers. Was that from what was it? Not Are You Being Served? Party Down. That was. Did you ever watch Party Down?
A little bit, yeah.
That was the Ron Donald's. The franchise he wanted to invest in was called Super Crackers.
I don't know.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, anyways, who gives a shit? Everybody, thank you again for calling in. 971-259-8302. Call in with your opinions on the subjects we asked for, and give us some new subjects if you got any.
And since Cody dropped the ball, where can they find you, Shane?
They can find me. Oh, I will be at the Punchline in Philadelphia. Fucking what?
We got it. He's going to be at the Punchline in
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 24th, 25th. I will be in Baltimore the week after that at the Port. Get your tickets now. Big thank you to everyone who came out in Minneapolis this past week or 2 weeks ago, whenever this airs, and helped sell out all the shows. That meant a whole lot. I really appreciate it. And please watch the new special, The Blue-Eyed Mexican, available on YouTube, and Shane Torres across all the platforms. Kitty Cat, where can they find you?
Calgary, British Columbia, 22nd, 23rd of March. Madison, Wisconsin, 28th to 30th of March. Maybe. The Lincoln Lodge Easter Sunday in Chicago.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll come by because Lent will be over and I can get fucking ripped.
Let's eat some ham.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ham-based content. Kyle Kinane, Dirt Naps out. It's $10 until April 2nd. Then it's free. But if you buy it for $10, there's codes. Just put them online. I like seeing on Reddit where people are just like, I got a code for Kyle's special. Who wants it? Just do that with them. If you don't have people to give them to.
Share.
Otherwise, that's what's up.
Flip the dates. Baltimore's the week coming ahead, and then Bill Philly. I'm an asshole.
Go to the website. Just go to the. Don't take our word for it. Go to the website.
Yeah.
But we're plugging. We're not plugging them at the right time.
No, but we're learning.
It's a technical improvement.
Charlene, where can they find you? At work?
Well, guys, you can find me here next week on No Accounting for Days.
And let us know if you want to hear more stories about Charlene's childhood.
Honestly, I think this is a whole family tree for the Connollys.
If you think election season's going to be dark, we can start prepping you now with Charlene's Christmas stories.
I'll tell you what, I have to pee sitting down. I have to go so bad right now. So I am gonna peace out, y'all.
All right. Bye. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Cody. Thank you for all your soups. And thank you for sharing your childhood trauma. This has been No Accounting for Days. Next week, we're talking about the trash island in the Pacific. Maybe it's going to be a place we can grow food.
Vacation destination, beachfront, island real estate.